Welcome to the Negotiation Dojo. Hi, I'm Martin, and we stand for the proposition here that we use negotiation, influence, and persuasion to communicate our needs to the world. And how effective we are at communicating those needs determines if, in fact, our needs are met. I've been practicing law for 30 years, and I've written a number of books on negotiation and hosted a podcast. And I teach this course, Negotiation Dojo, monthly. It's a live course where we get very practical skills that AI will never be able to replicate in negotiation, persuasion, and influence. And today, I'm going to disclose how AI and social media keep your attention and influence and persuade you down different alleys using the research of an individual I had the honor to hear speak at a uh, National Speakers Association conference I went to. So, right now, I want to go into some of those principles, and he's all over the web. You've heard of him. Wrote a great book in the 80s called Influence, did a follow up book in 2016 called Persuasion, and added one more to his six top kind of influential mechanisms, and that's Robert Cialdini. Uh, and he gives us these mental shortcuts on how our behavior is altered. And these are absolutely what technology platforms do today. And AI kind of does it now on steroids. Let's go over those six principles very briefly. The first principle, of course, is this idea of reciprocity. If I do something for you, there's a social tension, and it's universal that I want to pay you back some way. The next one is scarcity, which we tend to value things that are rare, that are unique. The other is authority. And I did it when I opened. I said, yeah, I've been practicing law for this number of years, wrote some books, teach a course. I'm trying to communicate authority. So you'll hopefully listen and like and subscribe uh, my content here on the Negotiation Dojo channel. Um, the fourth one is this idea of consistency and commitment. And once we commit to something, especially publicly, like maybe in social media, we are more likely to align our behaviors with that. We're kind of all in at that point, and that's why social media creates these positions that may defy logic, and people dig their heels in because they made a public declaration of a spot, and they're not going to get away from it because they've already declared it, and they want to seem committed and consistent in their behavior. Social proof, generally, we do things that other people do. We look to them to guide our behavior. Uh, we also have this idea of liking, which is what Cialdini talks about. We find people we like influential. We will do anything. This is the bread and butter of confidence people, where they'll bring you into their confidences with ill intent, con men, if you will. Um, the other thing I want to talk about is this idea of um, unity, which he added in his 2016 book, which is his concept of where if we share an identity with someone, an influencer, a political party, um, we generally hold that sense as inalienable, even in the face of data that tells us we shouldn't unify with that person. But if that identity group is strong enough, we will dig down, even if it's self-destructive, which is very common. So those are kind of these seven principles: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, commitment and consistency, liking, social proof, and unity. Now I want to apply that to this concept of social media. And one of the things about social media and LLMs in particular, they're kind of the ultimate people pleaser. So AI's training uh, tendency is to uh, for essentially make the customer always be right. And you are the customer, you are the product. If you're not paying for it, if you're a subscriber, then you subscribe to the product and you find some value. But generally, LLMs, they want to keep you engaged, agree, flatter, affirm the user views. even when they're questionable. And there's ways to get around that. And one technique we'll discuss later is how you can almost have a peer review dynamic in AI. There's a longer video associated with this on my website, but today I want to keep it short for YouTube. And I'll give you some links that you can figure out how to see the extended version. So why does this happen? Why does sycophancy happen in AIs? It has to do with the learning model because it's reinforced learning when you put in a query. It's not called a query. It's your framing of your prompt engineering. Uh, it's learning from human feedback. So it's reinforced learning from human feedback and it rewards user satisfaction. I got the right answer. I did the right thing. Sometimes that comes up against factual accuracy. This is why so many attorneys are trusting and they're getting sanctioned, paying six-figure penalties by courts for trusting and thinking that the LLM is more than a good initial rough draft, maybe it's of something, and there's all types of problems. Talk to your lawyer about use of AI because you can actually waive attorney-client privilege, and there's lots of fraught privacy issues with LLMs for another time. And why does AI, social media, a great case? Why is it a great case for Cialdini's teaching? Well, it really helps us get committed and consistent. If you want to be liked, liking shows commitment. If you see someone whose view or something you like, you would like it, you would engage with that content. That, of course, gives the poster a little dopamine if they read their stuff. And you also feel community because, hey, if 90,000 people like this, there must be something going on here. So I feel like I identify. I feel like a commitment and consistency. That little act of clicking that uh, like sign gave me that little trigger. And also reciprocity. Hey, if I like your stuff, you'll like mine. Social media platform LinkedIn, you will see it. You get a thing. Hey, so and so is following you. Would you like to follow them back? A lot of people will follow back for reciprocity. They're doing it, and did me a solid, so I'm going to do them a solid. That's that reciprocity thing. So all three are amplified simultaneously in um, our social media presence, and we talk about how the impact of AI in the world of AI is how much it wants to please us and give us that, hey, you're right. Um, the real impact is that there are one study I read stated that AI affirms users 49% more than humans will. So humans are a little bit more skeptical, a little bit more critical. Uh, even for bad advice. Um, and that was some research done by Stanford. I think it appeared in the journal Science. Those are some of the issues that we are encountering now in this AI age. Social media has used AI. It didn't use an LLM, but the algorithms they use are a form of artificial intelligence. Large language models, LLMs, are what we think of in the contemporary age of AI, where you have, Claude, Grok, and um, Gemini that really produce a lot of interaction, and they can lead people down paths. And there's actually legislation passed to curtail that. So that's what I want to get through today. These concepts that LLMs are so compelling because they're influential. And Cialdini's research, you can check the boxes on what those factors are. And again, my goal is to provide contemporary things that you can do in your life, which is what the Negotiation Dojo is about. It's an in-person training. It's about practicing and tagging and flagging and issue spotting when we are subject to an influential or persuasive effort. And in turn, when we are the target of those efforts, and social media and AI are really important things for us to worry about or be concerned about or have cognizance of in this digital age. Go to my website if you want to see the entire video. It's in the subscriptions portion. We have a lot of user interest and interface, and please send us an email. Hope you become a subscriber to that platform. But I also have a Substack where I talk a little bit more deeper dive on the more statistical, mathematical side of laws, legislation, social media, and other things. And that's my intro to this section. Do check out thepersuasionlab.com to figure out if being a subscriber there to our content. We have hundreds of pieces of content. We have dozens. I think we have like 60 training videos. We on all different parts from how to negotiate, how to do a plan, what the room layout should be, body language, micro expressions, and the like. If you want to be a full cycle negotiator, that's where you would go for that. And stay tuned to this channel. Please subscribe, and I'll try to get contemporary content up. I want this platform to be to that contemporary content, whereas the deep dive research tends to be on my website. Thank you for listening. And remember, our lives represent what we were able to negotiate. Have a great day.
I wonder how much I got of that.